recording. So till yesterday, what we have discussed is we have discussed about some of the basic stuff about the virtual network. Okay. So in today's class, we are going to discuss about the service endpoint, private endpoint, and the DNS. Okay. So in DNS, we will be discussing about the public zone and the private zone. Okay. So today's these are the three different concepts. Okay. Okay. Now coming to the first one, it is a service endpoint. So what do you mean by a service endpoint? See, if someone will ask you what do you mean by service endpoint and what do you mean by private endpoint, in a single statement, you can say that to route, to route our traffic over Azure backbone network. Okay. This is a simple statement which you want to say to anyone who asks about service endpoint and private endpoint. Okay. So what does that mean? See, I have a virtual machine. Okay. And I have some public facing resources. Okay. Okay. Resources which are publicly used in our Azure. Something like storage account. Okay. Some of the storage account are used over the internet. Okay. So for storage account, whenever we create any storage account, we don't have any IP address for my storage account, right? So if I want to access this storage account, what I need to do is from this VM, I need to go to my internet, and from this internet, I need to route my traffic towards my resource. That means what is happening is the first concern is security. Okay. The first, what I can say, what is the issue is security. Okay. So for that reason, what Azure has came is why I need to route my traffic towards the internet. What I will do is I will route my traffic from my own data centers to the storage account. Okay. From Azure network. Okay. Okay. I will tell you a simple example. Okay. Suppose see. So what will happen is you have two buildings. Okay. You have two buildings. If you want to go from this building number 1 to this building number 2, normally how you will go? You need to come down. You need to get outside of this building and then you need to enter this building, right? Correct? So here something like it is the internet. Now what I will do is without coming outside of my outside of my building, what I will do is I will create a bridge between these two buildings itself so that I don't need to come outside of the building and go inside. From the inside only, I can go to the second building. Got it?
Okay.
So this is one type of example. Okay. See, if you have a community, okay, if you have 10 different buildings, but if you want to go from one building to another building, if you want to come to main road and you need to come to the next building, that is a problem, security problem, right? Who is coming inside, who is going outside, we cannot see. But if you have that entire routing from one building to another building, if I have that all 10 buildings in a single wall, then it will be easy. So I don't need to check from this building and this building, who is going out, who is coming inside, and from this building who is going out and who is coming in. Okay, so that is not needed. Okay, so in the same way, whatever the resources are there in the Azure, why I need to route my traffic to internet, what I am doing is I am going via my Azure backbone network itself, so that it will be easy for me to route my traffic and it is security free. So you don't need to worry about your data which is going from your VM to your storage account. Okay, this is first thing. Second one is the difference here in service endpoint and private endpoint is service endpoint will have public IP address. Private endpoint will have private IP address. That is the only difference. Okay, that is the only difference. Everything is same, but service endpoint, we will use public IP address as our source IP address. Okay, and for
Why we
private
call
IP,
it as
huh?
why we call it as service instead of public endpoint?
See, service means it is a different resources we are using. So what do you mean by service? If you ask me service, what resources are provided by Azure? Okay, so they have termed as service endpoint because they are providing the service to you. That is the reason why it is service endpoint, which is doing the work between these two resources. So Azure is providing the service. That's why they have placed as service endpoint. Okay, if I ask you something, why they have named as Azure itself? We don't know, right? That is their choice. So because see, in AWS, we call the same endpoint as VPC endpoint itself. Okay, we will call that one as VPC endpoint itself. Okay, in Google Cloud, we don't have anything. We have something called as serverless endpoints. So that we don't use at all nowadays. And in OCI, in Oracle Cloud, we have something called as service gateway. Okay, so these are the different things. See, the terminology may be anything. We don't need to worry about why it is service endpoint, why it is not public endpoint, why it is private endpoint. If not, it is internal endpoint. That is not our concern. Our only concern is to understand the concept. Okay, got it?
Okay.
Don't think about that. Okay, that will eat your brain. Okay, okay. Now, now for this demo, what I'm going to do is I am going to create a virtual network. In this virtual network, I'm going to create one VM. Okay. And after that, I'm going to create a storage account. Okay. And in this VNet, I'm going to create a service endpoint, and I'm going to attach this service endpoint to my subnet. Okay. Then what I will do, I will try to access this VM to my storage account. Okay, clear? This is our demo for now. Got it? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a virtual network. In this virtual network, I'm going to create two different subnets. Okay, one is for my VM, another one is for my bastion. Okay, another one is for my bastion. Okay, and I'm going to create a service endpoint, and I'm going to attach this service endpoint to my subnet, and from this bastion I will connect to my Windows machine, and I will try to access this service account whether that is working or not. Okay, okay, clear? Any questions till now?
No.
Okay, so now let us go here. So now what I will do, I will go and create a resource group. So I have deleted everything yesterday. So I'm going to do endpoint resource group. Central India. Next, review and create. Okay, so once it is created, I will go back and I will create a virtual network. Create. So endpoint RG, I will say endpoint VNet. Click on next. So I'm going to click on a enable bastion. So I'm going to create a IP address. Okay. So I will show you how it works now. Okay. So still yesterday I have not shown you. So I'm creating a bastion. Okay. Click on next. So by default it is creating a Azure bastion subnet. Okay. So I'm going to edit the first one as web subnet. Okay. So I'm going to give the name and I'm going to click on create save. Next. Next. So it will take around 10 to 15 minutes to complete this deployment because of Bastion. Okay, because Bastion will take some time in order to create. Okay. So I think you are aware of what do you mean by a Bastion, right? Bastion is nothing but it is a jump server where you can create you can connect your private servers. Okay, without having public IP address. So private servers, public IP address is not required. Okay, so just let us wait for this to complete. So everything will look like this. So you need to remember this diagram. So they will show this diagrams and they will ask you how you need to configure. Okay. Okay. In interview also they can show this diagram and ask you to explain what do you think about this diagram. Okay. So this we will discuss. Okay. Once we complete the entire syllabus, I will show you the diagram and I will explain you. Okay. So for now, let me delete or close all these things. Just wait for this to complete. So now my deployment is completed. Okay, now what I will do, I will go back to my virtual machine and now I will create a Windows machine. Okay, Windows machine will be the easiest way to understand. Okay, so I'm going to select my endpoint resource group. So I will write VM demo 1. ఇక్కడ చూడండి see here. Okay, so I'm selecting no infrastructure. So I'm going with the standard and here you can select any of the Windows server. Okay, I'm going with this one. Okay, so I'm not going to select any spot instance. So I'm going with 4 CPU, 16 GB RAM. Okay, So I'm going to give the name, my name, and the username and password. Okay, I'm going to select. So yesterday I told you for Windows Server, the port will be 3389. Okay. Next, the disk will be default SDD networking. Here automatically it will take the web subnet. I'm not going to select any public IP address. Okay. Click on next. So here we are not selecting anything. We will take it later. Okay. Next, monitoring, advanced, and click on review and create. Okay. Okay. Click on create. Okay. So now your Windows machine is getting created. Okay. Okay. So my Windows machine is created. Okay. So now if I want to access this Windows machine, what I will do is just click on connect and connect via Bastion. Okay. So you are able to see the option here. Click on connect via Bastion. Click on that. So once you click on that, you need to give the username and password here itself. Okay. So once you give the password, click on connect. So it will open in your browser itself. Okay. So just let us wait for some time. Click on yes. It will take some time to fully start the machine. So once it is open, so see here process is running. Okay. So just let us wait for this to complete. So click on local server and you need to make this security off. If you want to download something, you need to make this option as off. Click on this one, click on off and click on OK. Okay, now this has been stopped. Okay. Now you can see it is in off state. Okay. Okay. Now the next step, what I told you is I need to create a storage account. Okay. I need to create a storage account. Okay. So what I will do, I will go to my browser and I will click on Azure storage account. Okay. See, storage account is nothing but it is a for using for storage. Okay. If you want to store something, you can use this one. Okay. So click on create. See, this we will discuss in detail, okay? But for this lab, just understand what I'm doing. That's all. So don't concentrate on why we are using the standard only, why we are going with LRS, why we are not going with GRS. Just leave it, okay? Just what I'm doing is uh, June 25, 2025. Okay. So we don't need to give this one demo. Okay. June 25, 20. So the account name should be unique. Okay. Remember, if I give this name again, it will not work. So we need to give every time whenever you are creating a storage account, the name should be unique. Okay. So primary service is blob. Click on next. So I'm not going to change anything here. Click on next. I'm not going to change anything here. Click on next. Nothing. Next. Review and create. Okay, now it has been deployed. Okay, so now what I will do, I will go to my storage account, just refresh it. Okay, so now you are able to see your storage account. So click on this one. Before we do anything, just you need to go to configuration and you need to enable allow blob anonymous access. So what do you mean by blob? It is a object storage where you can store your data. Okay, so at present we have not discussed about any active directory. That's why I'm doing it as enabled. If not, we can disable it. Okay, that we will discuss when we are discussing about the storage account. Okay, so for now I'm enabling this one and clicking on save. Okay, so now if you see here the data storage, container, file share, queues and tables. So what do you mean by all these things? Okay, the first thing is container. See, container is nothing but it is a blob storage. Okay, where you can store your unstructured data. Okay, you can store your unstructured data. So can anyone so you do you know what do you mean by unstructured data? So there will be no format. Okay, it may be in any format. That data we call it as a unstructured data. If the data is not there in rows and columns, everything will be unstructured data. Okay, so rows and columns will be structured data. Okay, something like our table. Table is nothing but a database where you store your data in a structured manner. Okay, structured data. Coming to the queue. Queue is nothing but it is a queuing system. So what do you mean by queuing system? That is nothing but whenever you order in your Amazon, whatever the order is created first, that will be delivered first, right? Something like first in, first out. So in order to have your queuing data, so order one, order two, order three. So everything will be stacked like this. So whatever the order will come first, it will be delivered. Then it will be delivered. Something like this, we will be using queue. The next one is file. So file is nothing but it is network attached storage. Okay, network attached storage, NAS storage. That means for this one, you will have semi-structured data. Something like we can use it for semi-structured data. Okay, so that is the use of all these storage accounts. Okay. So in a storage account, you will get all these different storage options. Okay. Don't think about this. Just leave it. Just I'm telling you for your reference. Okay. Now go back to the container. Add a container with the name demo. Okay. Click on demo. Just leave it and click on create. Okay. Click on create. Go to that demo container and you can upload something. Okay. So I'm going to upload something. Give me just a second. So I'm uploading something. Okay. I'm uploading a Docker file. Okay. So just click on browse for file and you can see all this option. Okay. So just select the file and click on upload. Okay. Till here, everything is clear. Okay. Now, whatever we have discussed till now is, I don't want to access my storage account from my internet, but that should be accessed over my Azure backbone network. Okay. So for that, what I'm going to do is, first thing what I'm going to do is, I'm going to create a service account. Sorry, service endpoint. Okay. So how you need to create that one? Go to home, go to your virtual network, select your virtual network. Here you can see there is a service endpoint. Okay. Click on add, click on service, storage, Microsoft storage. So at present, I'm not creating any service endpoint policy. Create the subnet. So I'm going to select my web subnet and click on add. Okay. So it will take some time to update. Okay. It is getting updated. Okay. It has been updated now. So if I want to change this configuration, what I need to do is I need to go back to my storage account again. And here on the networking, if you can see here, we are enabled from all the network. That means whenever you see this first option, that is from the internet. Okay. If you disable this option, what will happen is you will not able to access from any network. Okay. You cannot access from any network. Okay. So I'm going to click on disable. Okay. Save. Okay. Click on save. Okay. So now I will go to my container. If I click on demo, so I think it will take some time to reflect. Container demo. Okay, let me refresh the page once. Okay, in order to reflect here. Okay, one second, whether I have enabled, I have saved that one. Yeah, I have disabled from my public IP address. Okay, one second, let me refresh. I think it will take some time. Okay, you can see now you are not able to access this page at all. Okay, the same thing if I go for, if I want to access this one, what I need to do is I need to go to my machine, go to Microsoft Explorer and download Storage Explorer. Storage, one second, Storage Explorer download. Okay, so just mention Azure Storage Explorer download. Okay, so click on the first one. Click on here Azure Storage Explorer. It is not giving us the option to download. I know this, so I will do. What I will do, I will download the Chrome. Okay, so it is installing the Chrome so that it will be easy for us to download something. Okay, so I will just copy this one. I think installation is going in progress. Okay, yeah, it is installing. Okay, so now just copy paste this one, and here you can see the option of download. Download now. It is a Windows x64. Okay, so it is getting downloaded here. Just click on here. Okay, don't worry, I will tell you the step one by one. Okay, once we complete the service endpoint everything, I will tell you the steps one by one so that it will be easy for you to do that again. Okay, click on run. Install for me only. I accept. Install. Next. Click on next. Next. I'm just closing this window. Close this. Close this. Close all the tabs. Okay. So meanwhile, what I will do, I will just go back and I will copy the name of my account. Okay. Finish. Okay. Just go to the connection and click on storage account or service. Go with account name and a key. This third option, click on next. Okay, so just give the name, account key and the account key. From where you will get this account key is, you need to go to access keys and you need to copy anyone. Okay, show, copy and paste it here. Okay, and click on next. Click on connect. Okay, so now you can see the blob container authentication error. Okay, you are not able to use this one in your virtual network which is there on your Azure as well. Suppose if you want to get this access from here, what you need to do is you need to go to networking You need to select enabled from selected virtual network and IP addresses. Okay. So here you need to select your network. Okay. So click on your VNet and whatever the subnet. Okay. Subnet and click on add. Okay. And click on save. Okay. So I have done this one. Now what I will do, I will just refresh all, click on storage accounts. This one. Now click on blob storage. It will take some time. Okay. It will take some time to refresh. Okay. Now you can see you are able to see the files which are there in your container. But if you go here in the container on the demo part, still you are getting the issue. Okay. That means what we are doing with the name of service endpoint is we are restricting the traffic to my storage account from my public internet, and I'm only able to access that one from my Azure network itself. Okay, clear? So now, if I want to okay, um, anything else which I need to discuss coming to the service endpoint? No. Okay, so now, so what I will do, service endpoint policies. So what does this mean is, see, I don't want to go for every storage account and I don't want to do anything. So what I will do, I will create a policy and I will apply to my subnet. So what I will do, I will select this one and I will give a name SRB policy. Okay. And the policy definition, what resources you want to add. Okay. So for Microsoft storage resource group, and what resource. Okay. Because you have only one, that is why it is showing only one. Okay. Now you can click on add. Okay. And go to the next tags, review and create, and create. Okay, it has been created. Now, if I go to my virtual network, and here if I go to my service endpoint, and if I want to edit this one, configure virtual network in this storage account. Okay, 1 second, come back. I think I cannot add this one. I'm going to delete this one for now. Okay. Okay, it has been deleted. Now what I will do, I will select the service as storage and I will select the policy here and I will select the subnet. Okay. Now, why I'm going to create the service? The major question will be that. See, if I have 10 different storage account, but if from that subnet, if I want to only access 5 different storage account, I need to go to each service account, storage account, and I need to do that one. So without going to 5 different storage accounts, what I can do is I can add them into a policy, service endpoint policy, so that whatever the service endpoint policy storage account are there, that will be only working with the service endpoint. Okay. Any questions? So what I'm saying is, if you have 10 storage accounts, only 5 service accounts you want to access from service endpoint. Okay. Then you will use service endpoint policies. Okay. Clear?
Okay.
Clear? Questions? Clear? Any questions here?
Post creating that storage account. So అక్కడ నుంచి అర్థం కాదు.
See, after creating the storage account, what I have done is, once the storage account has been created, I have created one service endpoint. Okay. Okay. I have created one service endpoint. Okay. So after creating the service endpoint, what I have done is, I have restricted my traffic to the storage account from my virtual network itself by selecting this option. Okay. So go to storage account, networking. In this one, I have used this option in order to get the traffic to my storage account from this network itself. Okay. That is what I have done from this VNet only. This is what I have done after my storage account creation.
Okay.
That's all. I have not done anything. Okay. Any questions? Okay. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go back to my virtual network. I'm going to delete my service endpoint. Before that, what we can do is go to my storage account, go to container, go to demo. Okay, I'm not able to access from here. So what I will do, I will just okay. So what I will do, go back on the networking. I will add my IP address. Okay, I will add my IP address so that it can be accessible. Okay. Okay, now I will go to my container. Just refresh for a time. Demo. Now you are able to see the file. So now what I will do, I will copy the URL. Okay. And if I go to my command prompt, okay, and if I'll do curl -v, this one, you can see it is connecting to this IP address. Okay. Okay. 20.209.56.20.201. Sorry. It is connecting to one public IP address. Okay. Remember this one. Now, what I'm going to do is, I am going to my virtual network. I'm going to delete my service account. Okay. One second. Okay, now you can go back to your service account. Now you don't have any service account. So what I will do, service endpoint, sorry. Now what I will do, I will go to storage account, click on this one, networking. Here you have an option for creating the private endpoint connection. Click on private endpoint. I will say private end, Central India, resource. So I'm going to select the blob. Okay. So what is my virtual network? Already it has been selected. Okay. So I'm going to select static. So what is the difference between statically allocated IP address and dynamically allocated IP address? Static is nothing but you will have single IP address. Okay. Anytime you will only use the single IP address. But whenever you are going with dynamically, the IP address will get changed over time. IP address will get changed over time. Okay? Okay? Yes or no?
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So now I'm going to create, I will go with statically, dynamically only. Okay, let it be. Okay, click on DNS. So it will create a private DNS. So that we will discuss later. Review and create. Click on create. So just let us wait and see. Okay. So now your private endpoint has been created. Now you go back to your storage account, click on container, demo. Okay. Just refresh it for some time. Okay. Let's wait for some time and wait until. Okay. So meanwhile, I am going to networking and I'm going to remove this one. Okay. I'm going to remove this one and I'm clicking on save because I don't want to access this one from my IP address. Okay. Okay. Go to container, demo. It is not working from here. Okay. So now what I will do, I will refresh. Okay. So now from here you can see it is working fine. So there is no issue with your network, because from your network it is working fine. Now what I need to tell you is the difference. Okay, both are same. Now what is the difference here? Okay, if I want to go to the demo, okay, what I need to do is, okay, I think I have the URL already here. Okay, just copy. I will go here and I will go to command prompt. Okay, click on command prompt, curl -v. Okay, curl is not there. Okay, so what we can do, ns lookup. You can see it is taking the private IP address. Okay, if suppose if you try the same thing here, it is taking the public IP address. But let me copy this command and close it, and let me open it again. Okay, okay, if I open again, if I do copy home curl -v, it is still working on the public IP address. Okay, but it should not work. Okay, okay, why? My IP address is been disabled. Okay, but why it is working? So that is good. It should not work, but it is working on the public IP address, but it should not resolve. Okay, 1 second. Let me take this one. Okay, copy ns lookup. See here it is going to the two different URLs. Okay, one is it is going to public one, as well as it is going to private link. Okay, got it? That is
Yeah.
the reason why it is working. Okay, so normally it should not go to public. Okay, so in the back end what it is doing is it is going to the public alias as well. Okay,
Hmm.
so meanwhile what I will do, so we will cover once I will enable this one. Let me see whether the URL is getting changed or not. Okay, give me a second. IP that one will not change. Okay, so now we don't have the URL itself. So see, now it has been into the private one. That's why it is not getting the URL. Okay, yeah, that's correct. Yeah, that's fine. So normally it should not work, but it is going to your public domain as well. That is the reason why it is giving you the output. Okay, now if you want to see on the network interface, you can see there is a private endpoint network interface has been created for your storage account. Okay, this one 10.0.0.5. Okay, that is the point. Okay, any questions now?